Hi everyone, welcome to ETRetail interviews. I'm Pallavi Goel, digital content producer at ETRetail. Today we are here for a very interesting conversation on the growing men lifestyle market in India. We have with us Amol Goel, the founder and CEO of Louis Stitch. Hi Amol, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Pallavi. Yeah.
Amol, when we talk about the entire lifestyle and apparel industry, the segment is largely dominated by women products and brands that are focused on women needs. But lately, over the last few years, there has been an influx of new brands, as well as established brands focusing a lot on men's apparel and accessories as a category. If I'm right, even Louis Stitch managed to get funding from the family office of Mr. Ajay Bijli, which was, I mean, in a one of its kind investment. We don't see that kind of deals going through. So that kind of speaks for the interest this industry is really capturing lately. So on that note, if you can help us, give us a bird eye view, on what is happening in the entire men's lifestyle and apparel space, and what are some key trends that are shaping up the industry?
Pallavi, just to complete your first point, so we raised approx a million till now, and we got this funding from two very well-reputed family offices. One is, of course, that belongs to the son of Mr. Ajay Bijli, the Amir Bijli, and second is Space World. So Space World is a conglomerate which is into several other businesses, and through their family office, we raised approximately a million till now. Right. So now about the apparel industry. So apparel industry, it's a very, very dynamic industry, and it's really fascinating to be a part of it. We used to be, for the last 3 years, so we incorporated our company in 2019, and since then we are a major footwear brand, leather footwear brand, and we recently forayed into apparel from the last 4 or 5 months. But the journey does not start from here from the last 3 or 4 months. So we have been analyzing this industry and seeing the numbers, the trends in the industry from the last 2 years. And after a cautious deep dive into this industry, we launched the apparels 4 months back. Now this industry is, as I said, is very dynamic. It's a $31 billion industry. I'm talking about only the men's apparel where we play. It's a $31 billion company, approximately 1 billion articles sold every year, and the industry and the number of articles, volume and value, both are growing at a CAGR of around 5 to 6% year on year. Right, but so the CAGR remains the same 5 to 6 year on year, but the products, the lifestyle, this keeps evolving after every 2 months or 3 months. Right, unlike women apparel, which change the trends up in 15 days or maybe a month, men's is slightly stagnant or show the different colors after a quarter or maybe 6 months, right? And this of course keep changing the trend. So there are two parts of the men industry, so which is the formal and other is the casual. What we see, the new players are coming in the more of the casual trend, because this is what the trend is going towards the casual approach rather than the formalistic one, as we follow the Western trends. Right now, on the casual front, there are multiple other new brands that have come up with, and I personally see 8 to 10 new brands every day. When you log into your Instagram or your Facebook, and you keep, of course, you do the digital marketing, performance marketing, and you see many brands that are coming up every day. But I feel there is a very good gap, and the existing or the established player are also moving from formal to the casual. Now, this creates a very good gap in the formal piece. Formal and casual, till now, it's approximately 50% for now. But of course, the shift will be towards the casual. But when the established brand and the new brands come in the casual range, there is a very good void that is being created in the formal. So now we have tried to capture this void. So India being India, right? And there are banks, investment bankers. There are multiple sectors which are, of course, still following the formal attire for their office culture, and this will not change. I don't see this changing for the next at least 6 to 10 years. The formal will remain at their pace. No, so we are evolving in this formal. So we have launched around 300 new articles, and we keep launching 100 new articles every month, keeping the trend. And we, try to change the format, by ourselves also every month. It might be a change in the in the fabric, in the shape of the fabric, in the shape of the, how somebody wears that. So this is how we are, being placed in this formal brand play.
So, Amol, that was a very detailed introduction, and thank you for that. Just a quick follow up on, I mean, you highlighted that you are adding newer styles and newer products every now and then. Is the concept of fast fashion really catching up in the men's wear segment as well as much as it is in the women's segment? How do you compare the two?
Okay, so I see in the men's segment the change in the trend. So we have a good understanding about the footwear, right? And this is from where we evolve ourselves. So in the footwear, we see a very good trend moving from the formal shoes to the athleisure, or maybe a semi-formal shoes, right? And same trend is being, we see that it's get being traced to the apparel as well, right? But there is a small difference in here. So in the footwear category, there is a huge demand that is coming, or that is, pulling the new brands into the casual, in the casual wear. But in the for the apparel category, so there is more supply than the demand for the casual category. As I say, so I myself see 10, 15 brands coming up every day with some new casual wear. They say it's a smart shirt, it's a smart casual, whatsoever. I don't know how they're smart. But, so it's a more, throw of the lifestyle on the men's rather than the pull on the casual part. While in the formal, the pull is, the demand and supply, they are matching, each other.
Okay, got it, got it. There has been a quite dominant trend of women really shopping for the men in the house. Has that also evolved, and is that directly responsible for the growing demand or traction we see in the entire men's lifestyle segment?
Okay, see. So this must be happening in the overall apparel industry. I can talk about my target audience. So we see, 2 to 3% of the total audience is female, which is buying for their, for their spouses. Right. So this is not more than for our target audience. When I say our target, this is something which has a ASP, or the average selling price, of around 2,500 rupees or plus. It might be, economics might be different for a lower category product, or might be a very, very high ultra luxury product. But for our segment, it's 2 to 3% for our target audience. But of course, this is not something that women are pulling men towards the fast fashion. Men's are all, of course, now are more cognizant. They, uh, you know, uh, they want to appear, better. They are more conscious or more cognizant, towards the fashion. They want to look good now. It has become a part of their, lifestyle now. Earlier, it used to be we have to go to office, wear anything, go to office, come back, right? Now it has become a part of the trend for the men's also.
Okay, well, that is a happy trend to note on here.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
how do you read into the demand from markets beyond metros? I mean, the demand for the entire men's category. Do you see it mostly coming in from the metro cities, or are tier two, tier three cities also really catching up in this?
Okay, so now there are, I can divide this into four different things. One is, of course, a formal and a casual. So formal demand, it's better in the tier one cities. When tier one, I say it's the 8 or 9 cosmopolitan cities. This is evolving at a CAGR of 5 to 7% year on year. And for the casual, there is a growth. There is a good growth, 15 to 16% CAGR. I see in our target audience. But when we speak about the tier two, uh, the growth in the formal, I don't see that growth happening in the formal segment. But yes, casual is growing by 20 to 25% CAGR in the tier two market. And of course, the other two legs of this is the average selling price, of course. When we speak about average selling price for, might be relevant to our audience or to our brand, which is around 2,500 rupees or maybe above. So at this level, tier two markets, I still feel they are a bit shy to try a higher value product. But yes, the brands which are catering to ASP less than 1,000 rupees, they can grow by leap and bounds in tier two market.
From the perspective of a new age brand which is entering in the market, and as someone who has lived that journey over the last few years, what do you think should be the approach right now? Because we see the men's lifestyle market as a huge opportunity, and there's obviously space for a lot of brands to be in this space. Should a new brand's strategy be to go aggressive on experimentation, because there's a lot which can be done, or should it be to pick the top the categories or the factors we know will work out and build on that? What is the strategy from an industry perspective you see will work out?
Okay, so very specific to the apparel market, this A and B testing is very relevant or should be a part of the initial GTM strategy for any new brand that is coming up, right? If somebody is choosing what is already playing in the market or what is already in their market and try to copy the same specification or the same elements, of course this will be very lethal strategy, I must say, because there are more than 15 brands that we can count on the fingers. They are following the, a specific trend or a specific, dimensions or the elements for their articles. And you cannot beat those brands. It's very, very hard to beat those brands. But yes, if you are very much, curious and you have a very good R&D facility wherein, you can try A and B things, you can do A and B testing, maybe some prints. I'll just give an example. So maybe instead of a solid shirt, if somebody tries a print, different type of prints, right? Different type of color, a different type of plackets, or maybe multiple other things. So that will work better because that will try to cater to at least some segment of the market, which may have a void or which is even untouched, or somebody may create a demand as well in the market. Right, but following the same specification which are already in the market or might be doing good, so that might not be good strategy for a new brand. It's a me too, right? And apparel market is too big for a me too.
Tell us a little about your strategy at Louis Stitch, and you started with formal shoes. That was the category you began with, and now you're forayed into the apparel, right? What is the long-term vision for the brand, and yeah, how does that strategy look like for you?
Okay, so Pallavi, for us, how do we work? So our first strategy is to do a research. This is the backbone of the company. We spend good 6 months, 8 months before launching any product or any new segment. Right. So we do a lot of research. Every different stats, every different. We talk to many customers. We visit multiple stores, outlets, MBOs, LBOs, everywhere we go and see the trend, what's happening on the ground. Thereafter, we come to see a void in the market, and then we launch the products. Right. So I'll give you an example of an apparel. Right. So uh, everybody know there is a slim fit in the Indian market and there is a regular fit, right? Regular fit might be for some, which may not be obese, but general Indian figure, and slim fit for which is very conscious of the, of their fit. Right now, middle segment was missing in the Indian market, right? So we have gone to, I'll not take the names, but to many, multi-brand outlets also. And we see customers, trying different shirt of different brands, and they say it's loose from here, it's tight from here, right? Slim fit does not fit all. Regular fit might be loose for some people. And as the Indian men are, moving towards the more, fitness conscious, right? So there was a need of a dimension which is between the regular fit or a slim fit. So we launched comfort fit on the very first day. We didn't launch slim fit. We did not launch a regular fit. It's a comfort fit. This is between in these two, and this fits the customer, you know, uh, in absolutely a different way, and they become a total, fan of. So it's not about boasting our own brand, but they become a fan of the fit that we provide. So once a customer has ordered one shirt from us, they tried the fit, and we have seen the trend from the last 4 5 months. They buy at least 4 to 5 shirts from us. So this was the void. Just to say an example, this was the void in Indian market. So nobody tries a different type of collars. It's the same collar. If you can see, so I'm wearing a different brand shirt, but it's the same collar, right? So we try on the different part of the styling. You cannot do very too much on the formal shirts, but yes, you can keep up with the trend and find the void in the market. This is what we have been doing here. This strategy was very successful and is very successful for the footwear. Same we are following for the shirts.
Okay, wonderful. I think so. So give a quick takeaway from here is that brands which manage to find a market gap will be seeing, more customer loyalty and repeats. If am I getting on that right?
Absolutely. So this is what we discussed. So, A and B testing, it's very important. What works, what does not work. You have to keep trying this every day.
Wonderful. I think this will be my biggest takeaway from the conversation, Amol. And thank you so much for these insights. And, this conversation was also in line with one of our events, which is coming up, which is the Fashion and Apparel Innovation Summit on October 5 in Delhi. And we are trying to get, the who's who of the fashion industry to talk about all the innovations that are happening in the summit. And I mean, the points that you shared really set tone for much more exciting conversations that we'll be having there. So, thank you again for the inputs that you have shared. This was a very insightful conversation. And the kind of traction we are seeing in the men's wear industry, I think we are lined up for much more fun conversations ahead.
Definitely, definitely will.
Great. Thank you so much, and more.
Thank you. Thanks, Pallavi. Thanks. Good day.